When you talk about that loving gentleness, the being that inspires that in me is Yeshua. It seems like that's how he lived his life, was with that, unconditional love. I imagine, I don't know if, I don't know him personally maybe, but when people were with him, they felt like totally loved and accepted.
Yes, yes. And you can use him as a symbol to access that. In terms of an animal that would represent this powerfully, the lion. Now, even though the lion might seem like a vicious animal, if you look at your tarot card strength, the lion is like a puppy, because the person handling the lion is Christ-like. So these are other symbols you can use to tune into that more deeply. In terms of your body, it is your heart center that allows for you to access that Yeshuan consciousness.
And I've always felt, quite a deep resonance with Yeshua. Do I have soul connections to him?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So remember what we said as well, this being is an ascended master. So you personally have soul connections here, but keep in mind, this being exists within everyone. Because when one is an ascended master, in order to really achieve that, what they had to do is merge completely with the source. That level we mentioned that can't really be described through iconography, that spirit dimension, that spirit level, they've merged with that. And that's what makes up everyone, everything. So this being, as well as the others we have mentioned, have merged with that level. That's what allows for them to become immortal. Because that level is the source of both life and death. It itself is neither. When you merge with that, you transcend life and death. You transcend the cycle of incarnation altogether. You become something that is other than that. And that otherness, that is that dimension, makes up every phenomenon, makes up everything. So you have personal links to this being, but this being exists within every form of life that exists. That's why there's that saying that the Buddha is in all things. That's where that comes from. That's the process mechanically, merging with that unnameable, unfathomable level of existence.
And as far as my personal connections, that would be past, what we would call past lives?
Yes, precisely. In Jerusalem. Yes. You can trace these things back. We know it might sound wishy-washy at first. Oh, I had a past life in Jerusalem. How cool. Wonder what it means. Well, if you want to make this more solid, if you're familiar with the idea of astral projection or etheric projection, before you're going to bed at night, just lay in your bed and do your best to imagine the streets of Jerusalem during the time Yeshua was alive, and just walk the streets. Just move through the ancient streets and pay attention to the people, pay attention to the plants, pay attention to the buildings, and begin to move through and notice what you gravitate to. Notice what you move towards. Notice what you move away from as well. You'll start to connect with that self. That self will become more active.
Even if I don't know necessarily what the streets of Jerusalem looked like, I can just imagine.
That's one way. Yes, you can go in blind, as you say. That's fine. But also, you have your technology, Google Images. You can look at what these streets appear as now. You can see this. Now, some of it's modernized, but a lot of it's not. You'll find a lot of that city as it is now represents how it was then. There's a lot that has not been changed as well. Some's been modernized, but you'll still be able to get a feel for the ancient architecture.